कहते हैं कि शॉर्ट कंटेंट दिमाग के लिए स्मोकिंग की तरह होता है, उसी पर्सपेक्टिव से लॉन्ग कंटेंट दिमाग के लिए एक ब्रेन वर्कआउट होता है. वेलकम टू TRS Clips. Western viewers especially, but also honestly Indian viewers, I keep saying this a lot, the big advantage of being in India is that we have access to like really well-made meditation schools here. Mm-hmm. Where even if the guru is not present in biological reality, his teachings are present in detail. Meditation techniques are given in detail. And I've also seen like a flip side of this where some people pretend to be fake gurus. Some people alter the teachings of the original guru, and that leads to a lot of trouble for a lot of people. I've seen this in my own life as well. But it's a seeker's duty to go find the right source of the teachings and to be intuitive while finding the source.
Yeah, agreed. I think there's some problems even with some of these traditional meditative schools. So this is going to be like a little bit of maybe like a unusual take.
You're just doing a narrative on a reality.
So here's my experience. So you have some enlightened teacher, right? Yeah. And they have like a text, or they pass along the teachings. So so many people have come to me and said, meditation doesn't work for me. And then as we get into it, like, why doesn't it work for you? What happens? So let's understand what happens in a school. So there's a couple different versions of this. So you have like some meditator who's like really good, right? Like a good example is Buddha. And then there's a lot of people that come after him. But the question is, what percentage of Buddha's capability does the second guy have? Does the third guy or third girl? Fourth, fifth, sixth. Maybe 10 generations down, you get someone who's very spiritually enlightened, and then they kind of reinfuse that spiritual energy. But oftentimes what you'll see in these traditions is a shell of the practice. They have all the techniques, but like what happens, like, I don't know if this makes sense. It's not clear to me that the person who takes over has the same degree of Shakti as the person who started it.
I have a more optimistic outlook on this.
Yeah, sure.
I feel you got to begin somewhere.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think that's fair, right? So I think though that sometimes what happens is you end up with teachers who are mechanically
Gotcha.
teaching.
That I agree with. Yeah.
And so what happens if you look at some of these...
I feel like the essence of this is that the meditator has to be serious about the practice.
Completely agree.
Like, you are your greatest coach.
You are absolutely your greatest coach. But I think one of the scary things out there is that when you have one of these, meditation schools that you go through a course.
Yeah.
And then you get certified as a teacher. And then you teach meditation. That's not how it used to be done. What used to happen is, sure, you go through a course that's 30 years. And at the end of it, you're not guaranteed a degree. Your guru turns to you and says, so this is in the Zen tradition, after 30 years of dedicated practice, depending on your spiritual development, you receive a title, right? So in Hindu tradition, we'll have Swami or Paramhansa, right? Where you get this title because of your capability, not because you paid $5,000 and showed up every day. So the quality of meditation, the quality of meditative instructors, I completely agree with your point that you have to start somewhere. There's a lot of good stuff in these lineages. And you have to be your own coach. You have to be intuitive with yourself. But one of the scary things that I see is a lot of people will go, they'll pay for some course, there'll be a teacher there, but just because they're teaching doesn't mean that they're like adept.
Thank you for consuming this clip, दोस्तों. अगर ऐसे ही और clips explore करने हैं तो इस channel के playlists को ज़रूर explore करना.